Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about the slight delay. We are here. We've got a team of fantastic people ready to have a chat with you. I'm Jazz from Empowered Women in Trades, and today's session is, of course, the info session on the recruitment campaign we are assisting TDG with, who are our fantastic industry partners. The play for today is I'm going to hand over to Jessie from TDG to talk about who TDG are, what they actually do. Then we'll move on to Galen, who's going to talk about the overview of the projects that they've got currently going and what sort of employment opportunities there are available for everyone in SA. And then we'll move on to Carla, who's going to talk about, okay, well, these are the jobs. Well, what do we do? What's the next step? How do we go about applying for these jobs and what TDG are looking for? So it's a fairly casual conversation, team. Please feel free to pop in any questions that come up for you on the chat or the Q&A, and we will get to them either whilst we're talking or we'll definitely have time to get to them towards the end. So thank you again for joining us, whether you're joining us live or on the recording. I am going to hand over to Jessie. So Jessie, come on out.
Thanks, Jazz. Much appreciated.
Welcome,
everyone. Firstly, I'd like to do a joint acknowledgement of country. So TDG acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land on which we live, work and operate across Australia. We recognise their enduring connection to country, culture, community, and offer our respects to elders past, present and emerging leaders. We also acknowledge our Maori people as people of the land and offer our respects to their tribes and their sub-tribes and families. We honour their ongoing role as guardians of the lands, waters, skies and all living things. We recognise the importance of Maori language, Maori customs and Maori knowledge in sustaining the Maori culture, heritage and their connection to the environment. So who are TDG? So TDG were originally founded in 1989, operating in New South Wales as a mother and father startup company. With one vacuum truck. And at that stage, our primary focus was councils or local government, and we're cleaning stormwater assets. Over the years, we then evolved into delivering CCTV cameras, pipe rehabilitation services, and even material recycling centres. There was a stage about 9 years ago where our New South Wales market became sort of at our reach point of what we were after, and so we geographically expanded into Victoria. And then after Victoria into Queensland, South Australia, and now operations in New Zealand. And what that means for a business now is we're just shy of 600 employees. 13% of that's females, 24% is mature age workers, and we're running just under 3% Indigenous employees across the business. And TDG are probably now known as one of the leaders in the Australian and New Zealand market in terms of our end-to-end service offering, with offering services now from non-destructive digging all the way through to pipe rehabilitation and tank cleaning. Thanks, Jazz. One of the ways we like to articulate ourselves from a business point of view to external markets and our external stakeholders is our delivery model. So our delivery model is designed for us to have a conversation to sort of explain who we are, why we do what we do, and what's important to us as a business. And so you'll see there's 3 circles there. The first circle is our why circle, then our how circle, and then our what circle. So if we start at what our why is, it's our purpose. And our purpose is ensuring our waterways and underground assets are sustained to protect communities and the natural environment. And to deliver that, our vision is, we design sustainable services chosen by our customers, but we're really delivering those services for communities. Moving to the middle circle, how do we achieve that? Well, essentially, we offer services around assessing assets, we clean assets, we rehabilitate them, and we recycle the material removed out of them. And then what supports us in delivering that that how service is our what's. And if you look at the 8 focuses on the outside, they're focuses in our core values. So respect for the people, continuous improvement, managed by fact are our core values. And then our focuses are safety by choice, community, sustainability, delivery, and our customer. And the way TDG see it is those circles are spinning and we're delivering our services, then we've got a successful business model, both for internal and external stakeholders, as well as the community on which we service. Thanks, Jazz. So a bit of a journey, which I did touch on, but so 2008, when the business first actually started, it was called Total Drain Cleaning Services. We then 8 years later, developed our own recycling facility in Sydney, and we called that Mainstream Recycling. In 2017, TDG Group was established. We opened our Victorian operations in 2018, which 12 months later involved an acquisition of ESG and Utility Track. We then built a recycling facility in Truganina, Melbourne's western suburbs, and that opened in 2020. And after that, shortly followed by two quick acquisitions, a Bendigo-based business called RSP and a Geelong and Ballarat-based business called Bartlett's. 2022, we targeted Galen and got Galen across to run our SA business and open up our SA branch. And at the end of 2022, we moved into our New Zealand market and acquired a business over there called Hydrotech. So it gives you a bit of an idea of what our growth profile is and where we've expanded. And for us, the real growth states at the moment is SA and Queensland. So what do we do now? Utility Track is a product of TDG, it's not a service. And essentially it's a platform, an online platform that allows asset owners to look at their stormwater, sewer, or infrastructure assets on a GIS layer, so similar to using a Google Maps or an Apple Map. It allows them to click on the asset, whether it's a gross pollution trap, a sewer pump station, a stormwater drain, a sewer drain, and it allows us, when we're out there providing services to assets, to upload the reports for them. So it could be photos of the asset, it could be the CCTV reports after we've cleaned the assets, and allows customers to easily go on, click on the asset in a map view as opposed to a spreadsheet view or a database view, and access that information. What it also allows TDG to do from a delivery point of view is on site. It allows operators to turn up and have the information on hand in terms of where the stormwater manholes are, where the sewer manholes are, what's the size of the pipe, what the flow of the direction is, etc. Which also, from a safety point of view, but also a setup and scope of works planning point of view, really helps us facilitate and be efficient in our jobs. We have combination jet vac units, or drain cleaners as people know them, which does drain cleaning as well as industrial vacuum loading. We offer service locating and non-destructive digging, which is predominantly what we do in South Australia. CCTV cameras for condition assessment. Liquid tankers to transfer bulk liquid from plant to plant or to take the waste material off site. Pipe rehabilitation, which is looking at the old assets and grinding out displacements or defects and then putting in either patches or reliners to give the asset or the host pipe a life age expectancy of what its original installation was, which is 50 or 100 years, depending on the method they want to use. We have a bulk division now, which allows us to tail out headwalls and clean open water culverts and open body digesters as well. Sorry, digesters, open water bodies, as well as dredging. And we offer material recycling facilities, being Mainstream in Sydney and two in Victoria and one in New Zealand as well. All right, I'll hand over to Galen to talk about our SA operations. Thanks, Jazz.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Galen. I'm obviously the General Manager for South Australia for TDG. My background is in this industry for the last 16 years, but I've only been at TDG for the last 4. It's definitely been a bit of a ride and a really decent business to be involved in. So, yeah, I'm pleased to be here and sort of looking forward to the future growth. But a little bit of an overview of the South Australian business. Our main focus is stormwater, wastewater, and non-destructive digging. So we both use NDDs and combos, CCTV and hydro excavation, pit cleaning. We support the civil market and major infrastructure delivery. Our customer mix currently is tier 1 and 2 contractors. So that includes local government as well. We've got quite a number of decent local government contracts, which are generally 3 years in lifespan, and we usually get a 3-year renewal program after that. Our culture for HSEQ is a zero harm mindset. It's taken up everywhere on everything TDG own, from uniforms, hard hats, all your PPE to the trucks. So we take that very seriously. Take fives, continuous improvement is embedded in my business culture and still gets pushed forward. We just need strive to improve our business and also communication within our employees. So next slide. So our footprint and resources, we've got 2 depots in South Australia. So one's in the southern suburbs of South Australia in Lonsdale. The other one's based in the Northern Depot in a place called Burton. So we've got a bit of a spread across South Australia, and that entitles us to sort of encourage more diverse applicants in both of those areas to sort of get more skill set, and also to service those councils, those major projects from both sides of South Australia. So the fleet we've currently got, we spoke about it just before. So combo units, which is liquid and hydro, straight vacs, water cuts. We also do CCTV, which is a closed circuit television inspection unit, which crawls down into pipes, and it's just a little remote controlled camera that inspects all the assets underground, which is quite interesting. And that feeds into utility track, which Jesse just touched on as well, which is the GIS database, where our clients retract all that data as well without having a handover session, which is pretty impressive. NDD, non-destructive digging. So that's a big portion of what we're doing in South Australia. We've just invested another $11 million on NDD units. So they're arriving almost weekly. And that's the big drive for a big influx of workforce in the South Australian market. We have multi-skilled operators. So some of them use our combo units, which are drain cleaning and NDD. So they're called a combo unit, dedicated to NDDs and CCTVs. We provide RIW, which is working in the rail corridor. We support the white card as well. If we don't have it, we upskill people in those areas, confined space, traffic control, and live services awareness as well. All our assets are delivered via a digital platform. So we are a total paperless business. So all our job alerts are through an app. Your safety platforms are through apps as well. They all integrate to each other as well, and it helps with our reporting and deliverable as well to certain clients as well. Next page. All right, so we've got a wide spread of available jobs, I suppose, on South Australia. So CCTV operators, we've trained all our CCTV operators in South Australia internally. So we generally have a passion for getting things right. Otherwise, if we integrate other people, we usually get bad habits. So we prefer to train them from the get-go. Training is a big focus in South Australian development, and it is for the foreseeable future. That includes NDD operators as well. We heavily train our operators, and it's not specific to one particular person. We've got a group of trainers that work on site with that person, and then we have a set training program which we sign people off according to. Service locators as well. So I think we're the only TDG business that have in-house service locators. We've currently got 6 in-house. We are still looking for 2 more, whether that's under a traineeship, which we're looking at budding up our senior locators to upskill someone into a service locator role. That's an option. That's what we're looking at for as well. I've done that previously in another business, and it worked quite well. We're looking at offsiders as well. That's pretty self-explanatory. Mechanical apprentices, we've currently employed 2 in the last couple of months. They're going quite well, but we're also looking at mechanics and any sort of skilled technical advantage in that department would be phenomenal. Account managers, we're open to. Operations supervisors as well. Anyone with that skill set as well, we are still looking at. We try and promote within as well first, so that's something that goes out, but we're seeking outside advice as well and guidance for those roles to grow within the business. Major projects. The biggest ones we've currently been signed up to at this point in date is obviously the Water North program, which is the largest water infrastructure project in South Australia. That's starting in another 6 months' time. and that's going for another 4 to 6 years, depending on project milestones and delivery dates. The North-South Corridor, so the T2D project, we've got 2 very decent particular contracts direct with the T2D Alliance and various other contracts with supporting businesses on that project themselves. Also, the SA Water Framework, we've got multiple work streams under that contract, and it's quite heavily embedded in what we do day and night. So all these projects here that we've just outlined are day and night work as well. So there's opportunities for day shifts and there's opportunities for night shifts as well. All right, new infrastructure opportunities. So we also don't sort of service those 3 particular projects. We also sort of shotgun our business within major infrastructure projects. We've delivered many projects in the last 4 years with Tier 1 and Tier 2 contracts. We have direct contracts with Department of Infrastructure and Transport, and that's been heavily embedded in where we've been and where we're going in the next 3 years. Local government and long-term contracts, spoke about that earlier as well, but our contracts aren't just a week-long job. They go for years and years and years, and we get the opportunity to generally bid for those for another 3+ years. So they're very key in what we do as a business to maintain our growth and our structure. Obviously, Fulton Hogan, BMD, Service Stream, and John Holland are key players in what we do, and they're not small. They're not small businesses, so we tie ourselves across them and we integrate those across our businesses in the eastern states as well. So it's not just South Australia. We do have business relationship with those development partners in the eastern states and in New Zealand as well. So why put this in here? Why work for TDG? Obviously, we've got competitive rewards. Diversity and inclusion. Currently, as we sit this morning, our female to male worker ratio is 15%, which is I believe is the highest in the company. And we've got more female employees coming on as the week goes on, which is good to see that what we're doing as a business is getting recognised. And we have a lot of family members who put forward their daughters or sister-in-laws and all that, so it builds that culture. It is a good place to work, and it obviously is a safe and sort of diverse place to work, and I'd like to see that, and everyone coming through, they understand that it is a safe place to work and everyone's treated the same. It's good to see. Innovation and recognition. We are the most innovative business in our industry with the inclusion of utility track, the fleet we've got, the gear we have, and we invest in our fleet heavily, and we also do a lot of R&D in maintaining those assets as well, which is good to see. Growth and development. We've got quite a few supervisors, managers, account managers, BDs, all that sort of stuff that have grown with the business, and they've stepped up and got those development plans, and we've invested in them, and they're obviously key players in the business. We are very flexible, and we have a decent EAP program which promotes wellbeing, and we have regular discussions, toolbox days for mental health awareness and all that sort of stuff. So we get the groups together and we make sure everyone's okay. Open communication. It is an open book for us as well, but we do have clear communication lines, but there is no set stopping point for communication. If we don't get the answer, is more than welcome to go to the next step, but generally that doesn't get to that next step. But we communicate heavily with our field staff, and we expect the same thing from the field group up to the supervisory management level. That's it for that. So the career benefits for TDG, obviously, competitive salaries. We do pay above the industry standards. Flexible work arrangements. We do have the availability for short shifts, morning shifts, afternoon shifts. We have a casual roster as well, if that's something people are after. We are finding it more and more that people are looking for casual work rather than full-time work. So that is a change in the business that we've had to modify and and adapt to people's needs, not just force feed a full-time contract where some people don't need it or want it. We do have an annual performance reviews. Other businesses say they do, and they do it very poorly. We stick to it on a certain date. There is a performance review held every 12 months, and that goes across the board. I myself are included in those performance reviews, so everyone stands by what they've done in the last 12 months, and we have a key plan of what we're going to do in the next 12 months. We do have a really good milestone and achievement rewards program. We hold Operator of the Month awards, Photo of the Month. We hold just generally going over and above, and that's held at a depot level. It's not at a group level, so each depot has their own budget for rewards and recognitions each month. And the guys and girls in the business actually look forward to it. And it's good to see the uptake on photos coming through, which we generally use on our social media platforms. And it's good to see the business and everyone smiling, doing the right thing. It's good to see. A comprehensive health and wellbeing program, which is our EAP. It's a really good tool, and a lot of people do use it. Training and development opportunities. We do invest heavily in our staff. That's not only the basic tickets, but it's a career program. We partner with Australian Institute of Management, and we do short-term courses for other people that are looking at a different career within our industry, and we sort of assist them as well against budget requirements to go, look, this is your career that you want to be. Do you want to be in this level? This is what we need you to do to get to that stage. So we try and set everyone up for success rather than just sort of setting them out into an area and they fail dramatically. So we try and put together a training plan with all the tools that we have at our disposal. Lastly, we are an inclusive and diverse workforce culture. We do understand everyone's needs. Everyone is different, but we also deserve that respect from the top down as well. So I myself from the industry, I started out 16 years ago on a truck on my first day, and now where I am today and have been in the last portion of my career is just a testament to this industry alone of how we do promote within and we do train as well based off people's skill set and needs and what they want to do in their careers. So the applicants can go through the careers at TDG email. So obviously you attach your resume and a short cover letter.
I think we might jump to Carla for this one,
Carla.
Galen, if that's all right. Thank you so much. There's some fantastic information there. Carla, come on out.
Thank you, Galen. Very well said. Hi, so my name's Carla. I'm the People and Capability Coordinator at TDG, currently based in Auckland, New Zealand, but relocating to South Australia in a few weeks. So applying at TDG is easy. We do have a dedicated careers email where we circulate an internal advert weekly for our employees to apply if they're looking for opportunities, but external applicants can apply with their resume and a short cover letter as well. Or alternatively, they can go to our Seek page. So we advertise on the Australian and New Zealand platform, and there are some couple of ads for our TDG project in Adelaide at the moment. So yeah, selected candidates will hear from us to schedule an interview, and successful candidates will be taken through the onboarding process by our People and Capability team. Yeah, so preparing your application, so update your resume to include relevant information about your education, employment history, achievements, abilities, and your references. A brief cover letter to introduce yourself and what your skill set, qualifications, and experience relevant to the job that you're applying for. And all prospective candidates must have the right to work and live in Australia. So that's part of the documentation that we collect as part of the onboarding process. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a lot of information there. But Tim, I'd like you to jump back out. So Jesse, Carla, and Galen, come on back out with your cameras and your mics. And I'd like to invite any of our attendees to put any questions they have on the Q&A or chat. But just whilst we're waiting for them to ask the questions, I'll just go through what came up for me. Jesse, when you talk about what you actually do, wow, there's some big words there. Combo jetback units. It's probably something that you use day to day, but for somebody who's not in the industry like me, pipe rehabilitation, it just sounds really cool. To put it in layman's terms, does this mean anything to do in water in South Australia, the Adelaide region, you're involved with? Is that right? From drinking water to anything. Would that be right to say?
So not drinking water, but
Mhm.
stormwater and wastewater or other infrastructure assets. So non-destructive dig for gas, for telecommunications, etc. But when we talk drain cleaning and pipe rehabilitation, wastewater and stormwater assets. So offering services from cleaning those assets due to the CSV guide, which basically checks for defects. The pipe rehabilitation, in essence, repairs the defects.
So without your good work and your team's good work, we'd be stuffed.
You'd have sinkholes with cars falling through them.
Yep. Awesome. So it's really important work. And I guess this is what info sessions like this is designed to do. The average person doesn't know what happens behind the scenes in our day-to-day lives, what makes, our day tick. And it's teams like yours that keep things moving, literally. Galen, it was so nice to hear what you said about, in terms of diversity. There is no better stamp of approval than when somebody is referring their own daughter to the business, right? So that's really, really nice to hear. Interesting what you said about, you started off in a truck. And what is your role now?
My first day was in a truck, but my role now is general manager of South Australia for TDG.
Just a small jump, huh? Did you ever imagine this is where you would end up, and how did that happen?
No, it was just career progression and opportunities that sort of seen themselves. You do it without sort of thinking, and it got me another step somewhere. And it wasn't a career drive. I didn't think I'd be in this position, but I just took it as a job.
Yep.
I'm a bricklayer by trade. It was a bit of a downturn in the bricklaying industry 16 years ago. So then I just tried my hand at something different, and it just stuck with it. So as far as a career that I chose, that all I needed was at that time was a truck license, no other skills, and everything I've learned has been off the back of this industry.
Amazing. And Kelsey, I'll get to your question. I was going to ask that as well. Jesse, what about you? How did you start off in the industry?
Probably very different to Galen. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left school. I got offered a job to go into transport allocation for waste trucks. So I've been in the industry since I left school. So I did transport allocation for waste trucks, and then probably the last 10 years moved between sales and operational roles.
Amazing.
So,
amazing.
This is all I know.
Yeah.
I can't do bricklaying like Galen.
No. Love hearing those stories because we have so many people. I say I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, and it just sounds to me like the opportunities you have, doesn't matter if I work I can work day shift or night shift, I can work casual. It's not full time. I think the opportunities sound very diverse. I can work indoors or outdoors. Carla, what about you? How have you ended up here, and what are you up to next?
Yes, so this is my 4th year at TDG. So I started here as an operations administrator. This is the 3rd role that I've done with TDG, so I can definitely vouch that TDG invest in the training and growth of their staff. So yeah, I'm in the people and capability team now, relocating to South Australia in a few weeks. It'll be my first time over in Oz, so I'm very excited to get involved with the recruitment campaign that's running there. But yeah, it's been a great 4 years.
Fantastic to hear. So Kelsey is asking, obviously she's got a few people in her caseload in terms of candidates that have come from different walks of life. They might not pass some working with children's check or police checks, or they might be returning to the workforce. So I'd like to know, what are the non-negotiables in terms of working rights, medical checks, police checks, all those kind of things? What non-negotiables are there for me to join TDG as an employee?
For myself, it's generally on a case-by-case scenario as well. So there is no set non-negotiables, but it depends on, we do a standard police check and criminal history check, but that is purely because we do a lot of local government defence projects, all that sort of stuff, where we have to vet some of the people that we do put on. It's not to discriminate or go, hey, look, this person has this, they're not suitable for the role. We do have a lot of people from different walks of life having new starts as well, from a bit of a blip in their sort of outside sort of life, but we don't hold that against them. We generally take everyone on their merit as well, and obviously it's a combination of things that we have to take it on by case. So that's all I can respond. Carla can advise on that potentially. I'm not sure, but
yeah, as Helen said, it is case by case. With the pre-employment medicals, we do have them reviewed by a health and safety team, as we do want to ensure any employees are fit to work. We wouldn't want to put a potential candidate at risk with the nature of work that we're doing. We would need to have candidates have the right to work and live in Australia, but I think, as Galen said, it is generally a case-by-case basis. If there is an exceptional candidate, we would consider.
Yeah, perfect. And I think that's what, people like Kelsey is music to their ears, because they're working with different types of candidates, and every individual has a unique situation. So if they can just chat to the team case by case, I think that's great.
Particular gentleman that I work with as well on an away project heavily with him. He's 52. He's never had a full-time job. This is his first full-time job he's had, and he comes and thanks us almost every second day and saying this is the best job he's ever had. So that just shows, I suppose, it wasn't our intention to sort of get that story out and sort of, but it's nice to see, and he's a decent, genuine contributor to the business. So. Beautiful
to hear. I think you might have touched on this briefly, Galen and Carla, if you can also, answer this if you like. How many roles are we looking at in terms of this particular drive? Have you got a number already, or is it you don't know yet? You just need to get a candidate pool ready, and then you need, 2 CCTV operators, or do we have any stats yet on that in terms of how many roles there are available, or is it, again, just depends on the project?
It's at the moment, in the initial drive, there was 42 open positions. So, but it obviously we're after 2 supervisors, CCTV operators. It varies. Locators we're after 2, but the majority of it is the operators, the NDD/combo operators and stuff like that. But we do have offsider roles. We are looking for account managers as well moving forward, but the number of those is going to rise and fall with the different types of work we're looking at. But currently we've got 42 open positions.
Amazing. And with those kind of the NDD operators, those type of roles, so these are non-skilled roles in terms that they don't have to have any specific qualifications per se. Is that right to say?
We train them up, yeah. So if they're the right candidate, for those particular roles, we do try and get someone with a HR license as a minimum. But if they don't, we do offer. We have upskilled quite a few, and we pay for the license upgrades and all that sort of stuff in-house. But we train the people, the operators from the ground up. We know it's not a known industry. We know it's not someone's poster on the wall to go, that's exactly what I'll do tomorrow. So we understand some people do not know the industry and what we do, but it is an eye-opener to see what we do and the training program that we provide and the support network around it.
Perfect. Kylie is just asking, as an employment broker, is there, instead of going through the portal, because of course then it just becomes an application on the portal, is there a way that Kylie can reach out to you directly to send potential candidates? Would that be the careers email, or is there, Carla, are you prepared to open your email address to everyone? I guess when we have big projects like this, sometimes people want to be part of it, but they just don't know where to go. And applications can get lost online. So how can people who've attended our info session and this session or watch this recording, how can they differentiate themselves from the average person who may be applying? Because you'll probably get a million applications.
Yes, so you're more than welcome to send through applications to my email, which is kbarnes@tdgenvironmental.com. It's different from the .com.au. So I'll put my email address for everyone in the chat.
Amazing.
If you want to send applications through to me, then our team will review those once they come through.
Perfect. And just mention that you've been on this info session just to try and differentiate. Beautiful. Any other questions, team, from our attendees? Fantastic. I feel like I need to get a job with TDG now because the variety is so fantastic, and you all sound really amazing as well. What sort of turnaround are you finding? Do things move quite quickly? Is there an average time in terms of application and feedback on applications that we can expect?
So generally, we will try to get back to you within a 24-hour period, but I guess as this recruitment campaign is high on our priority list, there will be a short window of us reviewing and getting back to any recruitment agencies applicants. So you should hear from us pretty quick.
Fantastic. Great to hear. Okay, I'm just checking. I can't see any other questions unless I've missed something. Thank you, Carla, for putting your email on there. You're going to be inundated, but that is fantastic. That is what this info session is for. To have a 15% representation of female in your workforce is great, but it's not, let's try and help you increase that. That's awesome. And hopefully this info session answers a few questions for everyone, tells everyone what the opportunities are, and most importantly, what to do next. Thank you so much, Jessie, Carla, and Galen, for your time in joining us and giving us an insight into your world. Hopefully you get some amazing humans in the next few weeks and months on these projects. Thanks again for attendees, and if you're watching this online, we'll leave it at that. You've got all the contact details. Good luck to everyone, and hope everyone enjoys the rest of their afternoon.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.